All right, moving on, Pakistan now continues to provoke along the line of control. 4 terrorists and 3 jawans are killed in a fierce gun battle in Nowgam in a shootout carried out over 36 hours. As combing operations continue and Pakistan continues unabated provocations, what the question is another surgical strike necessary now?
Days, 2 infiltration bids, 3 jawans martyred, 4 terrorists neutralized. 8 months after India conducted surgical strikes along the LOC, Terroristan continues to spread its terror tentacles along India's borders. May 20th, Pakistan-backed terrorists infiltrate Jammu and Kashmir's Kupwara. Army locates the terrorists in North Kashmir's Kupwara sector. A fierce gun battle ensues. 2 terrorists are gunned down. 2 jawans once again make the supreme sacrifice of their lives. Gun battle continues between Indian forces and the terrorists. In an encounter spanning over 36 hours, 2 more terrorists are gunned down. Another jawan succumbs to terror. As operations end in Nowgam, another infiltration bid is foiled in nearby Martyred. As the army launches massive combing operations, our borders continues to fall prey to Pakistan-backed terror. In 2015, 28 infiltration bids were recorded along the LOC. In 2016, the number mounted to 88. And in 2017, within the first 4 months, a massive 60 infiltration bids have already been recorded.
As far as the militancy per se is concerned, it began in 1989-90, and therefore series of doings and misdoings have happened over the years. But I'm sure we would be able to redeem it.
As the government once again promises to act, our jawans continue to fall prey to terror. 8 months after the surgical strikes, Pakistan refuses to learn. Is it then time for India to launch a second surgical strike? Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, so the big question right now is India doing enough to halt Pakistan terror? So the questions that we're asking this morning, is our country actually doing enough to halt Pakistan terror? Should the parliament declare Pakistan a terror state? And what's India doing diplomatically to mount pressure on Pakistan? And should India try and withdraw the most favored nation status where Pakistan is concerned? I want to connect right now to my colleague Shuja Haq, who's going to give us details on these infiltrations bids that have taken place. Shuja, will you get us up to speed? The number of infiltration bids that have taken place in just the last 2 months alone.
Well, yes, Preeti, in fact, we were pointing out, just yesterday we saw, 2 infiltration bids that took place in North Kashmir's, sector of line of control, wherein in total, 4 militants were killed and 3 army jawans also lost their lives. And this is not it. What we have learned from the army and the sources who work closely in guarding the line of control have said that there are constant attempts being made to push in more men. Yesterday, in fact, the army commander of that area also came on record and said that since the weather was improving, we are witnessing, as usual, more attempts being made to push in men to embolden the ranks who are already working in the valley at various levels. Let's remember there has been an increase in the level of militancy. In fact, the government figures in itself said that there are about 200 militants who are active today in the valley, and out of which around 100 are locals, while the others are, foreigners. So it has all been done to increase that level of violence, that level of militancy on the ground. And as we've been always pointing out, while the army is saying that they are doing their level best to ensure that infiltration bids are decreased, but there always are loopholes which are taken advantage of. That is the question that needs to be asked. When will these loopholes be plugged? When will the line of control be completely infiltration free?
All right, Shuja, what we're going to do is we're going to keep coming right back to you. What we have right now, let's just cut across to our panel. We have Lieutenant General, retired B.S. Jaswal. He's been the former Army Commander, Northern Command. Welcome, sir. Good morning. We also have Zafar Islam. He's the national spokesperson of the BJP. Mr. Zafar Islam, thank you for joining us. And we have Hamza, my colleague. We're going to go across to him in a short while from now. First up, General Jaswal, I want to come to you. If you just took on from what my colleague Shuja was saying there, the terrorism has increased. The number of infiltration bids have increased. We are definitely losing more men, especially on the line of control, that we have ever lost. And there's documented evidence to prove that. What is it that we are not doing?
Firstly, I would question the figures itself. My details are right in front of me as of 8 o'clock in the morning. Up till April. If you give me time, if you have time, I can read out because that will give a good perspective as to what exactly is there. I've got figures from 2013 till April 2017. Terrorists killed and neutralized 94 in 2013, 153, 107, 181, 65 so far. Own casualties starting from 13, 28, 29, 33, 61, 21. The ratio for every soldier killed, the terrorists killed, in 2013, 2.39, 3.56, 2.90, 2.45, and now 2.33. Now, as far as infiltration bids, which have been eliminated, 2013, 15, thereafter 14, 15, 20, as of now 6. Foiled 2020, there were 20, 2013 were 20, 25, 8, 40, and this year up till April 8. Total infiltration which has taken place, 2013, 97, 65, 33, 119 last year, and 15 so far. Now, the second question of yours is that what should be done? Firstly, the snow is just melting, so infiltration will go up.
Right.
But let me tell you that our responses now on the LC, that is dissuading the people from infiltrating out there. Any post from where the infiltration is taking place is being sorted out and razed to the ground. So it's a prohibitive spectrum for them. They are suffering casualties, and that's the reason probably they will adopt another modus vivendi that is coming via Nepal, etc. So these figures, I don't think what has been spoken. Yes, there has been increase in militancy in Kashmir.
Yes.
Because of homegrown, where only 10 people were there, Burhan Wani, 8 were eliminated, 2 were left, and today we have approximately 100 local terrorists alone in South Kashmir. Now, there is a reason for that also.
Okay.
Pakistan wants to take off that tag that we are sponsoring terrorism in India. It is homegrown. That is the reason HM is being supported and funded. You've seen the expose very much. So to say that enough is not being done, I may not agree on that.
Okay.
We have put a lot of caution on the Pakistani troops who support infiltration because they are punished very badly. This is my take on it.
All right. So, General Jaswal, okay, you're saying that, maybe it's wrong to suggest that enough is not being done, but is the approach right? Is the strategy right? Let me bring in Zafar Islam from the BJP national spokesperson. He's also joining us live. Mr. Islam, right now, one question is our strategy working? Is the Ajit Doval strategy actually working when it comes down to stopping these infiltration bids and actually giving out a befitting reply?
Absolutely, it is working. You have any doubt? The people of India have absolutely no doubt because the strategy is working, the strategy which has actually put Pakistan on a defensive mode. Let me tell you very clearly. First, the number was not correct, and as rightly pointed out by the General himself, because General is, and he also commented about the strategy because he is an ex-general, he knows what needs to be done, and he knows whether the government is doing the right job. Secondly, what is more important, that India since 2014 has changed its approach, And the approach you were talking about, no more it is seen as a defensive, having a defensive approach. We are on offensive mode always when it comes to dealing with an enemy country like Pakistan. And the kind of befitting reply we have given to Pakistan in last 3 years, it's something with Pakistani. You must see the Pakistani channel and you will realize that the kind of befitting reply India is giving to the Pakistan. And because many people do not come to know, purely because they do not see what is happening in Pakistan, how Pakistan is feeling the heat given by the Indian army to the Pakistani army. Let me also tell you one more thing. You were talking about most favored nation, whether to declare the...
No, that I understand. That I understand. That is not in India's control.
Let me tell you. No, declaring Pakistan a terrorist state in isolation by the Indian Parliament will not work.
Yes.
Purely because it's a global community which need to understand that Pakistan is a terrorist nation. And this is what the Honorable Prime Minister at every platform has spoken about it, has exposed Pakistan, and now the world understands better Pakistan, that Pakistan is a terror factory. If you just recollect, in the past, before 2014, we never used to get support when it comes to terrorism.
Okay.
We never used to get the kind of support we get from the European countries, we get from the US, from the Middle Eastern countries, from the Saudi Arabia, from the Iran. Today, thanks to the efforts of the Honorable Prime Minister and his foreign policy, today India gets support from every single nation against Pakistan.
All right, Mr. Islam, let me bring in my colleague.
Pakistan is a nation.
All right, let me bring in my colleague Hamza, who's been getting us the very latest from Islamabad. He's also joining us live right now. Hamza, just give us details. With what we have seen in just the last month, the number of visits that General Bajwa has actually made to the LOC goes on to suggest the kind of offensive that Pakistan is building.
Well, yes, it does actually show what kind of an offensive actually both sides are building, because see, when India says there's been infiltration into Indian border and people have been killed, Pakistan comes out with the press release on its own saying there was cross-border shelling from the Indian side into Pakistan and people have died. This is something that has been going on simultaneously on both sides. You know, when one says you killed our people, the other side says you killed our too. And that is where things have been not so right. But yes, you're right. General Bajwa has had at least 3 visits in the last 2 months to the line of control. He has met the soldiers and he has actually, talked about the ongoing tensions on the line of control. But yes, unfortunately enough for Kashmir on both sides of the border, on the line of control, it is the same story, one side to the other. Right. Everyone says you killed us and we are the ones who are fighting the right.
All right. Appreciate you joining us, gentlemen. That's all the time we have for in this debate. We'll be tracking the story very closely. Thank you there.